Hey there, YouTube fam. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about for this video is my journey to the marathon. So in January of 2021, I was like everyone else, going through the tough times of COVID, feeling like, terrible and kind of lost in life. At the time, I had left California, where I was staying temporarily, and moved to Mexico, which was a really nice time. And I was in Merida, Mexico, which is a beautiful, lovely town that I would suggest anyone go to. It has great food. It's amazing. It's actually a very popular place for American expats, surprisingly. And there's a ton of like sinkholes right there, cenotes as they're called. These little freshwater kind of like swimming holes. It's really actually a beautiful place. The food is amazing. It's relatively cheap. So Merida, Mexico should be on your list of places to go if you haven't been there already, which I imagine you haven't. So I'm there in this very like hot place in January, and I started running because I wanted to just get healthy, be healthier, etc. Um, and I started with the smallest thing. I just ran like like a block or a few blocks and come back and call it a day, right? But those slight little things added up, and over time, day after day, I kept running. I made sure it was a habit, and I got a little farther each time. Now, months have gone by, and I'm starting to run some serious distances. And at the time, I was really interested in doing a triathlon because there was a beautiful Olympic sprint triathlon. Those are really like short triathlons. At a popular scuba diving location. So I got kind of really excited about it. I was like, I'm gonna try to do this triathlon. I can learn how to swim, etc., etc. Um, but I had the thought, like, maybe I could get healthy enough to like run a marathon. And so, that's the kind of first time you have that thought. And you're like, oh, maybe, that's stupid, but okay. So I so I ended up getting this app, the Nike Run Club app, which I actually think is a fucking brilliant app. Tons of bugs, a lot of like weird issues, but in general, the premise is very, very good. They have these audio guided runs. And so you will go on this run and have someone in your ear kind of saying, like, hey, like, here's how you should run, and like teach you, essentially coach you on running and running basics. And the first thing that really taught me was everyone should like running because like we're kind of like evolutionarily evolved to run and to enjoy running and to have like the endorphin hits of running. And most people don't, myself included at some point. And the way that I kind of learned to love running was getting this advice, which was run slower. If you're suffering, you're doing it wrong. Run slow, jog, jog for a little bit, stop jogging. Like at some point, you will build up your aerobic base and be able to go farther and longer with very, very little effort. And then you can kind of get into flow with it. It's just as easy as walking. And so most people don't have the, let's say, kind of wherewithal to know that this is still good for you. And we think and equate running with suffering and running as fast as you can and all this stuff, but just run fucking slow. So, step one, run fucking slow, but also get this app and learn how to do it. So, I noticed that over time, month after month, I had kind of had a slight increase in my average, walking, running time. And I got to a point where I was like, let's try to do this fucking marathon. And it became my only goal. It was my main project. Every morning I would wake up and I would try to, stick to this plan. I got a marathon training plan or whatever. I tried to stick to this plan. I tried to run. And let me tell you, most of the time it was a delight. I got to see a new city. I was traveling a lot doing like the digital nomad thing. So I got to see a city through this. I would stop and go as much as I wanted and like basically tried to make it fun. And so following this plan, there's only like one run a week that was really hard. Only a few times that you really had to fucking suffer. And I was able to juggle that with my life, luckily. And eventually, I signed up for the Berlin Marathon. Now, out of happenstance, I was going to be in Berlin at that time. My sister and her family lived there, and it was my nephew's first birthday party. So adorable. And so I was going to be in Berlin maybe like a few days before the marathon. And I thought, hey, this is a good goal to have. And so I tried getting in, but it was like far too late. And I emailed everyone I could. And eventually, I got an email back from someone saying, actually, we had someone drop out. Would you like to join? And so I it signed up for that, and I had signed up for the New York Marathon as a backup. I was trying to decide, oh, should I do New York, should I do Berlin? I was like, you know what, let's do both because one marathon's cool, but two is better. So I signed up for Berlin, and you know what? I was able to find the person. I was able to run this fucking race and everything hurt and it was total fucking suffering. But like, I was able to do this thing after 9 months of training without being able to run a block in January. I was able to run 26 miles in October or the beginning of October. And I'm really fucking proud of that. But the thing that it really taught me was that anyone can do this as long as you can make space in your life and have the right mentality to grow via consistency. And that's actually the time where I stopped believing in free will because I was like, the influences that I got that led me here were not really my choice. They were external influences that got me onto this specific path. And if any one of those had been different, I wouldn't have done this. But the fact that they were all there led me to this point. And so it seems really odd to tie that in here at all. But the things that you end up absorbing, the ideas, the lessons that you end up absorbing are the ones that lead you to live the life that you lead. Um, and for better or worse, it takes a little bit of the responsibility out of your hands. I shouldn't be saying this. Let's not include this in the video. But I want to say surround yourself by information, people, ideas that support you and make you want to be better and make you better, right? Because that is how you kind of end up with growth. So I'm going to stop that right there. This is a terrible video. I'm never going to publish this. Oh my God, this is the worst version I've ever talked about this thing. But thank you so much for like being with me. And I'm going to, hopefully continue making these videos and improve the quality after I get to like video 80. The first 80 are garbage. Okay, bye. Take